Assistant Coach, Dan Craig. Assistant Coach, Jay Larinaga. Assistant Coach, Brian Shaw. And the head coach of our LA Clippers, Tyronn Lue. And now the non-starter at forward number 33, Nico Batum. At guard number 4, Brandon Boston Jr. At guard number 7, Amir Coffey. At center number 55, Isaiah Hartenstein. At guard number 45, Keon Johnson. At guard number 5, Luke Kennard. At guard number 14, Terrence Mann. At guard number 17, Jason Preston. At guard wearing number 0, Jay Scruggs. At forward number 20, Justice Winslow. And a 6'7" forward from Moreno Valley, California. And a 75th anniversary team, number 2, Kawhi Leonard. His 11th year from Boston College, number 1, Reggie Jackson. At guard 6'1" in his 12th season out of Kentucky, number 12, Eric Bledsoe. The man in the middle, 7 foot in his 6th campaign from Croatia, number 40, Ivica Zubac. At forward 6'9" in his 11th year from North Philadelphia, number 8, Marcus Morris Sr. And at forward 6'8" in his 12th season from Palmdale, number 13, Paul George. Ladies and gentlemen, our 2021-22 LA
I hope you guys loved that intro to the video. Yes, I was actually there last night live for opening night for the Clippers. Sadly, the Clippers do not pick up the W, and we fall to 0-2 to start the season off. But I digress. It is what it is. Listen, I'm gonna stay here. I'm not gonna stay long. Talk about the Clippers and Grizzlies game because obviously we got to move on. It's 2 games out of an 82 game schedule, but whatever. And also too, I know I didn't talk at all. I didn't do a game recap against the freaking Clippers versus Warriors stuff, but I'm here doing a game recap of Clippers Memphis Grizzlies, where the Clippers fell to the Memphis Grizzlies last night by the score of 120-114. In a game that I thought the freaking Clippers should have won. If I'm being honest, I really thought the Clippers should have won this game, and they probably should have won this game fairly easy. I would say probably in a blowout, or if not, a come from behind victory. But other than that, I guess if you wanted to know my time at opening night at the Clippers game, it was great. It was great. Regardless, even though the Clippers lost, it sucks. It doesn't make anything better. But I still had a fun time. And I enjoyed myself at the game. Um, and I really did, like going back to a Clippers game. The last Clipper game, I caught their last preseason game actually out here in Ontario. But it was a very, very long time since I actually saw a Clippers game back at the Staples Center in the regular season. I think the last Clipper game I saw was when the Clippers were still when it was still the Lob City Clippers. We played the Houston Rockets back when James Harden was on that team. I do remember that game going to legit overtime, and we ended up pulling out the dub. So I got to see Chris Paul play in the Clippers uniform. I got to see DeAndre Jordan play. Blake Griffin, I believe, was hurt that game, so I didn't get to see him. But I believe I already saw Blake Griffin play live in a Clippers game. It was like a long time ago. It was like a preseason game. Back when when freaking Blake Griffin was like in his younger years. So that's the whole thing there. That's the only time I ever saw Blake Griffin play. I haven't seen a Blake Griffin Lob City game in a very long in a long time. But it was nice to be back in Staples for the first time in quite a while. Obviously, I tried to get myself tickets to go to one of the playoff games last year, but the tickets were just too much money, and stuff like that. But it was good. But it was good to see them, and with the fact that Clipper tickets are pretty much like damn near cheap as hell, I'm probably going to be catching a lot more games this season than not. The only thing that sucks about it is that Kawhi is out. So definitely when Kawhi comes back, I definitely got to catch a Clippers game with Kawhi playing in the game. So that's the thing. But other than that, I had a great experience last night at Staples Center. I did like the seating, like you saw from the video. I was actually like in premier seating, so pretty good. And those tickets were like, me and my dad went. Those tickets were literally just, I believe that they were like, I believe something. I forgot how much tickets there was for each, but it came out to a total of $186 for me and my dad's tickets combined. And it wasn't that bad because the tickets were literally cheap. We could have sat up in the rafters, probably got more cheaper tickets because those tickets up in the rafters were going for like freaking $6. So again, to the Laker fans who freaking say, "Oh, see, the Clippers are pathetic. They're offering freaking cheap ass $6 tickets for their games." Well, guess what? At least the Clippers actually make their tickets manageable for the fans to come out and actually go out and support and actually catch a nice basketball game. It makes it manageable for the hardcore Clipper fans to come and, honest to God, it almost see like every game, probably maybe once every week or two. And even too for the new, fans getting into basketball. Hey, you got a manageable team in the Clippers. If you like the Clippers, they got pretty nice tickets. Maybe you can become a fan of the team like that. Now, I do think when the Intuit Dome is built, the ticket prices will go up a bit because it's going to be a new stadium and it only makes sense. You probably would have more expensive tickets for that, for the Intuit Dome. But that's the one thing I like about the Clippers. They make their tickets manageable. I like I said, I do think with the Intuit Dome, the ticket prices are going to have probably an increase, but they'll probably maybe be around the same area of range of ticket prices. So, but other than that, let's talk about this game. So I'm going to kind of break it into phases, just really things that I like to see, things that I didn't like to see. So let's start out with the negatives and get those out the way. Things that I didn't like to see was the fact that there were too many times that we had wide open baskets, mostly by Marcus Morris, that were wide open, 3-point shots in the very big late fourth quarter minutes that Marcus Morris, hands down, has to make those shots. He has to make those shots. You cannot be getting wide open looks and missing those shots. That's the reason why he was brought here. He was one of the best 3-point shooting players in the league last year. That was in the regular season. In the playoffs, he was honest to God, with an exception of a few games, he was virtually a no-show in the playoffs. Marcus Morris has to hit those shots, plain and simple. There were many times he had wide open three-point shots that could have trimmed the lead, and actually maybe got the Clippers, kept the momentum going on, and probably would have helped the Clippers get back in the game. And then it's just kind of the same thing. When we miss a shot, the freaking Grizzlies go down the court and they make a shot, whether it's a 3 or 2, I don't care. And stuff like that. That's the thing. Marcus Morris has to hit those shots. Hit those. If he hits maybe 1 or 2 of those shots, game maybe could have changed, or maybe the game's closer than what the score indicates. It might have been a game where we would have lost maybe by 3 instead of, I believe, 6. But that's one thing that I took away that was not good. Another good thing is the fact that Zubac did not play a very good game himself either. I thought Zoo was very lazy, very lackadaisical, very slow on defense. Again, the offensive issues, listen, they do have their own merits. But there's a part in that third quarter, man, Zoo just looked awful, man. He was getting outplayed by Steven Adams. And again, Steven Adams is a veteran, and he is no slouch himself, but Steven Adams isn't like one of the best bigs in the freaking game. He's a solid big that just gets paid over, that is getting paid big paid money, essentially. And it's like, dude, come on. At that point in the third quarter, I was like, dude, why don't we not put Hartenstein in the game? And stuff like that. So, yeah. Another thing that I did not like was the questionable rotations in this game from Ty. I did not like some of the lineup choices he went. In that second quarter, he went a lineup of, I believe, like, I know PG was out. I believe it was a lineup of Hartenstein, Bledsoe, Mann, Kennard, and I forgot who I believe was Batum. I did think at first that lineup didn't really mesh well. Now Hartenstein came and gave us some really good buckets, which made it obviously a lot better. But you know, I was kind of scratching my head at that lineup choice. The entire third quarter, not the entire one, but honest to God, near the damn 4th-minute mark in the third quarter, we continued staying with the damn starting lineup, and the starting lineup was getting absolutely cooked by the Memphis Grizzlies. I don't know why. And at that point, it's like he put Terrence Mann too late in the damn game. And again, like I said, when Terrence Mann got back in the game, even though Terrence Mann didn't really do much of anything in this game, which is kind of another negative on my point. Terrence Mann has to be a little bit more aggressive. There's too many times he's hesitating on shots. Man, just if they're going to leave you wide open for 3, just throw it, man. It's the same thing like I said last year. You know, he's got to have confidence in his jump shot. If they're going to leave him wide open for 3, let him pay. I think the more he takes more 3-point shots, the more he's going to get more confident in that shot, and the more they're going to fall, because guess what? You're not only practicing those in practice, but you're also taking that – you're also shooting them in the game, which definitely could help the team. And who knows? You make it, guess what? They'll make you pay. It's like that freaking clinching Game 6 Utah Jazz game. They continuously left you wide open. Hey, pull the trigger and let it go. I do think Terrence Mann needs to be a little bit more, aggressive with his shot. He needs to not hesitate. If it's open, it's open. Take the shot. Who cares if you miss? You're going to make it at least one of those times. And if you miss, hey, that is what it is. That's when you go to the rim and you go establish your shot. But the lineup choice wasn't ideal. They elect to go small ball. Okay, fine. Small ball was working, but I do think there was questionable changes. I do believe late in that game they probably should have took Morris out for Batum. Probably should have did that. I question too. Okay, Coffee, I'm fine with not playing. I'm kind of getting sick and tired of Amir Coffee. Brandon Boston Jr., I would like him to get some minutes, but it seems like he's not going to be in the rotation. I don't know why we didn't play Justice Winslow in this game. You would think this could have been a revenge game for him. I don't know why Justice Winslow didn't see the court, especially from the standpoint he's a pretty good defender, and we could have used that defense, to be honest, with how bad the defense was, which I'll get into in a minute. I don't know why Justice Winslow didn't play. So that's another head scratching thing. I don't know if that's because Batum's back, but it's like, honestly, I would also kind of make the starting lineup probably a shift and change. What I mean by that is probably maybe have Bledsoe coming off the bench. Now, again, Bledsoe with how he's playing, he's been playing solid minutes, and I've actually have been impressed with what he's been giving us. I wouldn't mind if they move Bledsoe to the bench. They put Paul George at the 2, Marcus Morris at the 3, or Winslow at the 3, Morris at the 4, maybe Zoo at the 5, I guess. You know, you could do that and play Winslow. I thought he was here to be the Kawhi replacement because he doesn't play as good as defense as Kawhi, but he's not no slouch either. I don't know why Justice Winslow didn't get no run. You would think he would get some playing time, but okay. Hopefully he plays in the Blazers game because I think he should. Because they got a pretty talented offensive players, and I think Justice Winslow could actually maybe play a factor into some defense because I think we need defense. That probably right now is the most important thing the Clippers need to work on. So yeah. The next thing is rebounding. Let me put up the team stats because in terms of rebounding, the freaking Grizzlies out rebounded us by four rebounds, 48-4. But the thing is, we had 14 offensive or second chance rebounds or offensive boards, while well, guess what? The freaking Memphis Grizzlies had 13 boards. That's only one, offensive rebound shy of R. I thought there was too many times in this game we did not rebound the ball. When Memphis would miss a shot and it's a critical miss by Memphis, we need the rebound. Our guys, for some reason, didn't go up aggressively and go for that rebound, or they mistimed their jumps and they didn't get the rebound. And Memphis will rebound the ball and get second chance points back. And it's like, dog, come on. You cannot just get out rebounded like that. Rebounding's huge in these games, especially when you get into the playoffs. Sometimes those rebounds are very clutch to get, because if you're letting an opposing team get second chance rebounds, second chance points, it's like, well, you're taking away a miss that they got, and guess what? They get those points back. You're giving them a second chance, essentially. So the Clippers need to do better. It's been an ongoing issue the past 2 years with this whole rebounding issue. I don't know why the Clippers don't aggressively get up for rebounds and they don't go and snatch the ball. They're always mistiming their jumps, or they're too soft to get the rebounds, or they just wait for the rebound to come to them, which, no, you can't do that. You have to go get the rebound yourself. Again, I've had a problem with the Clippers for various years in terms of getting rebounds. We do not get rebounds, and hopefully they work on that, and hopefully that gets better. Mostly that's starting on, hopefully, like I said, even with Zoo, that's the whole thing that needs to be better there. And then obviously the last thing I probably want to talk about in terms of the negative is the defense. My God, dude, the defense in the last 2 games is so behind, man. I don't know what's going on, but the defense is very slow, very lackadaisical, very lazy, to the point there's times in this game I'm watching that defenders are falling asleep and they're not paying attention. The freaking Memphis Grizzlies start the game off hitting damn near every 3 they can make, because there's no Clippers getting in their face contesting a shot, and they're just falling asleep on defense. There's many times we need a key stop. Guess what? Memphis gets a nice basket because our defenders are falling asleep. There was one time when I remember vividly, I forgot who made the shot, but it was kind of a pick and roll type of action thing, and Zoo falls asleep with a freaking defender cutting down to the rim and makes the basket. And Ty's like, come on, man, you guys need to wake up. And it's like, dude, why are we this bad on defense? That's why I said earlier, why is Justin Winslow not playing in this game? He's a defender. He could help. At least he could give something on the offense. But the team defense is really, I'm not saying it's like horribly bad, but it's bad, where there's no communication at all on defense. And when there's a defensive break, you have other players looking at you, they're like, that wasn't my fault, it's your fault. Listen, communicate better defensively, and guess what? You won't be pointing the fingers at people. This team is too damn good for to have defensive lapses. I don't care if Serge is out. I don't care if Kawhi's out. This team is too good not to be at least a solid defensive team. Like, I know there's some players like, say, a Reggie or a Kennard that don't play the best defense, including Zoo as well, who don't play the best defense. But at least have better team defense. Like, crying out loud. I thought that was the most atrocious part, not only in the Golden State Warriors game, but even in this game. The same thing kind of happened in the Golden State Warriors game. It happened in the Memphis Grizzlies game. The Clippers' bad defense led the opposing team to get on a run. There was a point in the third quarter, it was literally looking like it was going to be a blow until the Clippers fought back and made it a closer game than what it was. And the reason why is because guess what? That third quarter, they played piss poor defense. They played piss poor defense near as the second quarter was ending, which got Memphis back in the game. When guess what? If they had played some semblance of damn defense, the Clippers, I guarantee you, win that game in a blowout. I guarantee you. But because the Clippers were not hitting their shots, and they weren't playing no semblance of defense, Memphis slowly but surely got themselves back in the game, and they had all the momentum going into the second half. And then when the second half turned on, guess what? No defense being played by the Clippers. The freaking Grizzlies go on a damn near run that freaking has them up at some point, literally like 60 to almost damn near 80. I forgot, but there was a point like it was big, a big lead. Now, credit the Clippers for fighting back because they got the offensive firepower. I figured that the Clippers could find a way to get back in the game. They have the offensive firepower, even with Kawhi out, to get themselves back in the game. The question is, can their defense be on the same level as their offense at some points in the game? Too many times they fall asleep. They have to work on the defense. They have to, and that starts with the communication on defense. And stuff like that. And sometimes playing better defense without fouling, it's going to help as well. But other than that, other than the negatives, or actually, let me actually tell you some things that I did not like. Okay, Jaren Jackson Jr., 21 points, understandable. He's one of their key players. John Morant, 28 points, fine, great. Here are players that shouldn't have crazy points that had crazy points. Steven Adams had 17 fucking points. That can't happen. Steven Adams at the least should have maybe 8 to 10. Goes to show you how much he was eating Zoo alive for breakfast. Like every damn center, Zoo plays against. 17 points. Can't happen. Desmond Bane, 19 points, man. Their entire starting lineup was in double figures. All of them. All of them. That's why the Clippers lost. Desmond Bane, 19 points. Who is he? I've never heard of Desmond Bane before in my life. He had 19 points. Even though he missed 10, he was 4 of 10 from the 3-point line. But dude, the dude was making damn near shots. And I'm like, dude, this guy's not going to make shots like that ever again. They were playing no defense on him. Travesty. DeAnthony Melton, 22 fucking points. It's already bad enough you're playing a Grizzlies team with no Dillon Brooks. Dillon Brooks is a really good player. I think he's a really good player. But DeAnthony Melton, 22 points? Who is that guy? He's just a scrub. He's a role player. This dude was making... It's always something with the Clippers going off. There's always some random dude going off on the Clippers. Some random nobody. Some random Joe Schmo going off. Now, Steven Adams, Bane, and Melton. They're random dudes. They're not world beaters. They go up play the good teams. The least they average is damn near 10 points each of them. That's what I'm saying. The Clippers defense needs to front these players, get up on their faces, and play some damn defense. 22 points, DeAnthony Melton can't happen. Take away half those points, the Clippers probably win that game. Same can go for Adams. Same can go for Bane. You held Clark to 3 and Anderson to 4. The freaking Grizzlies barely got no bench production. No bench production. Only thing the Grizzlies got is their starters beat the Clippers. Their starters, all of them were in double figures. If you're having John Morant and Jackson and Jaren Jackson Jr. both have 20 points, and you're going to give essentially the three other starters in the lineup damn near close to 20 points, you're going to lose those games. Guys like Steven Adams should not have damn near almost 20 points. Desmond Bane should not be 1 point shy of 20 points. D'Anthony Melton should never have 20 points. I don't know when we play the Grizzlies again, but hopefully if we play the Grizzlies again, we win. Let's get to the positives. Obviously, one of the positives, biggest positives, is Paul George. Paul George dropped 41 points, man. He was a killer this game. And let me just tell you, this is going to be not a good season if the Clippers are going to be reliant on Paul George heavily. Eventually, Paul George is going to wear down, and those shots are not going to fall. You cannot waste performances like that, and that's why I hate when the Clippers, when they're not playing good defense, they waste performances like Paul George, who drops 41 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 assists. He had a double-double tonight. He was in his bag tonight. Paul George was in his bag tonight. He was great tonight. Good, I got to see a masterclass Paul George performance. He was wonderful. But we cannot waste performances like that. I hate when we have a star outbreak in terms of points and we end up losing. And it's like, it's a waste of a fucking performance because guess what? You can't get those 41 points back now because you lost the damn game. So that's a whole theme there. Paul George was great. I liked how, he got started early on in this game. And, when the Clippers needed him most, he found ways to get the Clippers back in the game when they went on that little mini run at the end of the third quarter to get them back in the game. And I did like the fact that Paul George was keeping them in the game. One thing I do not like is the refs still not giving foul shots to Paul George. They're very anti-Paul George, like we expect them to be. And for some damn reason, I had Tony Brothers again in this freaking game. Which me and my dad went to the preseason game. We had Tony Brothers in that preseason game. And when they were and during the announcements, they said the refs are Tony Brothers. And I'm like, I just showed my dad, I'm like, bro, we got Tony Brothers again, bro. Can we not get Tony Brothers again next time I go to a Clippers game? I feel like he's following me somewhere. Holy shit. Another guy I love to see his play was Eric Bledsoe. Now Eric Bledsoe in the stats department didn't look really well. He only had 12 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, only had one of his 2 3-point shots, and was 3-11 from the field. But in 33 minutes, let me just say this. In the last 2 games, can I just say this? Now, when we traded away Beverly for Bledsoe, I was not too high. On Twitter, if you follow me on Twitter, at what's my Twitter account at Cameron D Winfrey. If you want to go follow my Twitter account for Clippers stuff, I talk about the Clippers. I talk about Bears stuff too. But when the Clippers made the trade for Beverly for Bledsoe, I did not like the trade at all, and I think there was other Clipper fans that didn't like that. They're like, why the fuck would we trade Beverly for Bledsoe? Shit. But can I just say this? The last 2 games, Bledsoe has been really good for us. I don't know if it's just him coming back to the Clippers or something, but man, he's been phenomenal. He's played better than I thought he would play. Like, he's actively, hold on for a second, guys. But as I was saying, holy crap. Yeah. As I was saying, Bledsoe has been really freaking good for us. He's been giving us solid minutes, and he's been very productive in his minutes. He had 22 points in the Warriors game, and he was virtually the reason why we even stayed in that game against the Warriors. If not for his 22 points, and not for his production, we get blown against the Warriors. Here, yes, point-wise, he didn't do much, but he was very active defensively. The assists he was dishing out was some very great assists. Bledsoe, I will wholeheartedly admit I was wrong about the Bledsoe trade. I was wrong. The one thing I will say that I do think Bledsoe is better than compared to Bev is, yeah, he's not a better 3-point shooter than Bev is, but Bledsoe may not be as physically, defensively as Patrick Beverly, but there was times in that game, freaking Bledsoe was getting blocks on freaking Steven Adams and stuff like that. I'm like, dog, this guy is freaking giving us his everything here. I love it. So Bledsoe is coming very good. It's just the little things Bledsoe is doing for us that I like him. And it's like, man, when Kawhi comes back, whenever he does come back, it's like Bledsoe's gonna be looking good for us. Honestly, I'm liking Bledsoe. He has been a very much a positive more than I thought he would be. Honestly, he fits good for this team. Because he can. The one thing him and Patrick Beverly are different is the fact that, yes, they have the same trait in terms of they play really good defense. But the one thing is Bledsoe can put the ball on the ground and actually take it to the rim. Beverly could do that to an extent, but, usually he's not skilled. He's not gifted that skill on offense as he is compared to defense. And I think, honestly, Bledsoe so far has been more of a blessing than a hindrance, and I love what he's given us. So yeah. And another thing, the last thing I'm probably going to speak on is the fact that I did like Isaiah Hartenstein's minutes. My God, Isaiah Hartenstein, he's been phenomenal for us. This game, he was great. He only had 11 points, 1 assist, and 4 rebounds. But there was a point in the second quarter, he single-handedly took over. Like, we were just feeding Hartenstein the ball, and he was single-handedly taking over. I'm like, dude, why the fuck is this guy not playing more minutes than fucking Zoo, man? I understand Zoo's a bigger dude than Hartenstein, but it's like, Hartenstein's a talented player, man. This guy needs to get some damn minutes. Man, come on. We need some minutes from this guy. And honest to God, I'm getting I'm literally, Zoo's getting on my tipping point. I'm getting sick and tired of Zoo, man. I really do want to see Hartenstein get some more minutes. I do think now in the grand scheme of things, some people may say it's blasphemous to get more starting minutes of Hartenstein to maybe start over Zoo. I want to be mad at the idea as an adjustment, have Hartenstein starting and you put Zoo on the bench maybe. But Hartenstein gave me a lot more. He played so much more better than Zoo. So much better, more better than Zoo. And at first, I was a Zoo fan. Now I'm getting on the whole bandwagon. I'm like, okay, Zoo's kind of getting on my last damn nerves. He is not what we're led to believe. Zoo's too damn inconsistent. That's his problem. One night, Zoo will look like, okay, that's the Zoo we expect to get every damn night. Then other nights, Zoo's like, dude, what are we? I'm like, it's like, dude, take him out of the fucking game, man. Just take him out. Like, we went small ball. That's when they stopped playing Zoo. It's like, dude, come on, man. You're supposed to be a dominant big. This is the type of this is the type of Zoo that we need to take the next step. And he hasn't. He hasn't. Plain and simple. He's getting outplayed by guys that he should have no problem being outplayed. He's being outplayed by his own damn backup center in Hartenstein. Hartenstein gives us valuable minutes. I'm not saying he's the best on defense, but he gives us solid defense. And offensively, he's a nice passing big. He's got firm hands, and when he has to go take it himself and, is in the, offensive scheme, he actually goes up and dunks the ball. He doesn't do that freaking hook arm, soft up, go up dunk. He goes up to the dunk strong. So hopefully Isaiah Hartenstein gets more minutes. I think he's very underrated. From what I saw, I loved what he gave us in the preseason. I saw him live in the preseason game, and I loved what he gave us in that preseason game I attended, and I loved what he gave us here. Again, he was one of the players that single-handedly kept us in the game in that second quarter and made us go on a big run till Memphis finally trimmed the damn lead and everything. But that was really good. Hopefully more Isaiah Hartenstein minutes, and like I said, we're still waiting on on Ibaka to come back, and Jesus, we're gonna have a whole conundrum. If that's the thing, you put Ibaka back on the starting lineup, you either move, you have Zoo and Hartenstein get some bench minutes and stuff like that. Because I definitely do think, even though Hartenstein's our third center, I definitely do think Hartenstein deserves some semblance of minutes. He's been really solid for us. And like I said, again, I'm not opposed to maybe the Clippers saying, you know what, let's probably trade Zoo away. Listen, if we trade Zoo away, guess what? You get something in return for him. I'm fine with that. Whether it's another wing or maybe a more solid big, another solid backup big that could back up Ibaka. But we'll just have to see and stuff like that. In terms of the other Clippers, Marcus Morris, 9 points, 4 of 11 from the field. Has to be better. 1 of 6 from 3. You have to be better. Just better from Marcus Morris. Zoo only was 6 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 of 7 from the field. Zoo needs to play better. Offensively and defensively has to play better. Reggie Jackson, he played a much better game than he did against Washington, than against Golden State. 17 points. 3 of 8 from the 3 from 3 points, 7 of 17 field. I do think we could maybe give him some more touches in that fourth quarter. He didn't really nearly touch the ball at all, mostly because it's Paul George's show. Because Paul George was get out the way and stuff like that. So, I do like the fact that Reggie Jackson had a better night. Reggie Jackson did say in his press conference that the other Clippers members, including himself, need to step up to bail out PG because he can't be doing the 41 points a night thing all the time and stuff like that. Eric Bledsoe, already mentioned he had 12 points. And I kind of run down his stat line. Nicholas Batum in his return. It was only his first game. 2 of 6, 1 of 5 from 3, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 points. I do think Batum should have played more minutes. But it's his first game. I think he'll play better. We know Batum's solid for us. Again, Isaiah Hartenstein, 11 points, 1 assist, 4 rebounds, 5 of 7 from the field. And that was it. Terrence Mann, only 3 points. He needs to play better than that. 8 rebounds, 3 assists. 1 of 8 from the field, missed both his 3-point shots. Even though he didn't play the well, Terrence Mann did the little things. It's the same thing with what we say about Terrence Mann. When he touches the floor, good things happen. In the third quarter, when he finally entered the game, good things happened. The Clippers got back in the game, and they trimmed that Grizzlies lead. Don't know why he shouldn't play some more, but okay, he had 26 minutes, so good. Luke Kennard, I thought he was solid. He had 10 points, 3 of 7 from the field. Had 2 3-point shots, 2 rebounds, no assist. I do think Kennard could have played a little bit better, but I'll take it for what it's worth. But for the contract he's being paid right now, since it's fully kicked in now, he's at least got to get maybe at least 15 points. He's a nice, I would say, he should be the next guy off the bench that's predominantly the scorer that gets those 10 to 15 points. He got 10 points, so that's kind of my range. 10 to 15, I'm fine with that. I do think he could have played better, but I'll take it. Again, listen, it's only 2 games. I'm not going to overblow anything. I'm not even going to go crazy in this season anyways, because guess what? I already know our chances. We're probably going to make the playoffs, maybe through the play-in tournament, probably. I see us as probably maybe a 5th, 6th, maybe 4th seed, if not a play-in seed. But that's the thing. With Kawhi out, I don't expect us to go far. I'm still waiting on Ibaka to hurry up and come back, which he needs to hurry up and come back, man. Like seriously, it's always an ongoing thing. Is Ibaka gonna come back? Yes or no? But other than that, that's kind of it. Yeah, I enjoyed my time at the Clippers game at Staples. I did get opening night. We did get a pretty nice giveaway shirt. This shirt, it's a all hands shirt. I'm guessing all hands is gonna be the new slogan this year alongside LA our way type of thing. But yeah, so that I like the shirt. I'll take the shirt. It's rare I go to freaking sports games and I get the actual really legit good giveaways. Like I always hate when I go to games and I never get the great giveaway shit. That's every time I go to the damn Angel games because I'm an Angels fan. I always get the piss poor freaking giveaways. I always go to Angel game tickets for giveaways for none of this stuff. But yeah, I don't think. But as I'm in this video, I'll more than likely, since tickets are cheap as hell, I'll probably catch a lot more Clipper games than I have in quite a while. But I'll definitely be back in Staples, again for more Clipper games. But yeah, other than that, that's kind of it. So If you guys like the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts on this Clippers game, and stuff like that. And do you think the Clippers will be able to beat Portland? I do think, in terms of beat Portland, we got to shut down the 3-point shots. I think we let Memphis get too many easy threes. And we know Portland likes to chuck up threes a lot. So, yeah. Listen, that's good. I do think we should play Justice Winslow in that game too. But again, like I said, we'll see. We'll see. But other than that, I'm gonna get out of here. Again, hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day or never watching this video. Until then, guys, I'll probably be back Monday for a Clippers game recap against the Trailblazers. I'll probably go up maybe the following day on Tuesday. That's probably how I'm gonna handle this because by the time Clipper games end, it's gonna be so damn late. And when I got home, it was damn near almost 11. So, yeah, I literally, drove all the way out to LA. But other than that, I'm gonna get out of here. Hopefully, you guys have a great rest of your day and I'm checking this video. Until then, guys, I'll see you guys later. If you want to check out my Chicago Bears game recap content about the Chicago Bears. But other than that, I'm gonna get out of here. See you guys later. Peace.